way confined by that situation. And she's basically designed and is now manufacturing a car that people in wheelchairs can just drive their wheelchair right into the car and start driving. And then you had a young man who had a 3D camera that was about this big. And basically from filming either a static image or in the round, can basically download that immediately and create a 3D image, and then use that for 3D manufacturing, 3D printing and manufacturing. And what currently costs about $80,000 costs about $3,000, the technology that he's developed. So they're doing amazing stuff. And one of the things we're doing to fuel more inventiveness like this, to fuel more private sector innovation and discovery, is to make the vast amounts of America's data open and easy to access for the first time in history. So talented entrepreneurs are doing some pretty amazing stuff with data that's already being collected by government. So over at the Capital Factory, I met with folks behind a startup called Storm Pulse, which uses government data on weather to help businesses anticipate disruptions in service. Then you've got a Virginia company called O-Power that's used government data on trends in energy to save its customers $200 million on their energy bills. There's an app called iTriage, founded by a pair of ER doctors, that uses data from the Department of Health and Human Services to help users understand medical symptoms and find local doctors and healthcare providers. And today I'm announcing that we're making even more government data available, and we're making it easier for people to find and to use. And that's going to help launch more startups. It's going to help launch more businesses. Some of them undoubtedly will be using this data, powered by chips that essentially started right here at Applied Materials. It's going to help more entrepreneurs come up with products and services that we haven't even imagined yet. This kind of innovation and ingenuity has the potential to transform the way we do almost everything. 1/3 of jobs in Austin are now supported by the tech sector. And we should do all that we can to encourage this kind of innovation economy all across America in ways that produce new jobs and new opportunities for the middle class. We're poised for a time of progress if we're willing to seize it. Not even 5 years after the worst economic crisis in our lifetimes, our jobs market, our housing market are steadily healing. Our deficits are falling at the fastest rate in decades. The American auto industry has made a comeback, it's thriving. American energy is booming. But we've got to keep on moving forward. And we've got to make sure that Washington is not administering self-inflicted wounds when we're making progress. So Mike and I were talking about the fact that we can reform our tax system to eliminate some of these loopholes. Potentially we can lower some rates. That would make our businesses more competitive. Basic research. You'll hear people talk about how government is not going to do anything for us. Well, we all understand that the private sector powers and drives our economy. On the other hand, most of the private sector right now has a lot of trouble financing basic research. And that basic research is the foundation for everything that's done at this company and everything that's done for most of your customers. And we can't afford to fall behind when it comes to basic research. So there's some key things that we can do that shouldn't be ideological. They're not Democratic ideas or Republican ideas or independent ideas. They're just good ideas that allow the government to help create the foundation, the platform, the environment in which companies like Applied Materials can thrive. And that's what we've got to constantly champion. And when you're talking to your members of Congress, or you're talking to elected officials, you've got to remind them, we don't want government to do everything for us, but it's got a role to play on infrastructure, basic research, making sure that we've got a tax system that's fair. making sure that we've got some basic stability in our budgets so people aren't always guessing what's going to happen around the corner. Think about how this company was built. Back in 1967, when Applied Materials was just getting off the ground, there were 5 employees. They worked out of this small industrial unit in California. And I suppose they had a clean room in there, but I don't know what it looked like. But what they lacked in size, they made up with ingenuity and imagination and risk-taking. And over the years, as you grew to become a leader in high-tech manufacturing, that ingenuity never faltered. Whether you've been with this company for decades, as I know some of you have, or just for a year, you're all focused on the future. Every day you're pushing the limits of technology a little bit further. And you're not alone. Because somewhere over at the Capital Factory, there's an entrepreneur mapping out a new product on a whiteboard that may be the next big thing. Somewhere over at Maynard New Tech High School, there's a kid scribbling down an idea for a new invention that one day may turn into an entirely new industry. That's America. And when you look out across this room, what you also notice is there's talent drawn from every segment of our society. We don't care what you look like, where you come from, what your last name is. We just want to make sure we're all working together to create a better future for our kids. That's America. We innovate, we adapt, we move forward. That's what